Take a look at M&A activity, particularly with retailers and particularly with Chico's. Striking a deal to be acquired by the investment firm Sycamore Partners, a deal valued at about $1 billion. Analyst Jeff Lick over at B. Riley praising the role of its CEO in orchestrating the deal, saying, quote, Molly Langenstein is essential to Chico's continued success, and if she's back in the Sycamore bid, another bidder would have limited interest without her participation. Jeff Lick joining us right now, senior consumer equity research analyst. He's got a buy rating on the shares. And Jeff, let's actually start with the CEO. I mean, she was specifically brought in a few years ago, I think from Macy's, to kind of turn this ship around. And I guess this deal is kind of the culmination of that. You're relatively comfortable with the price she was able to negotiate?
Well, yeah, that's correct, Romaine. She was brought in 2019 to, turn the ship around, as you said. And she's done a great job. Her and her team have done a fantastic job. They've taken EBITDA from about 75 million and grown it back up to about 150 million. And I think that it's a fair price or a good price for the shareholders, for the management team, and for Sycamore. I think it's a win-win-win.
Well, let's talk about here I guess, what they sell and who they sell it to. I was talking with my co-anchor because my sort of recollection of what Chico's was mainly geared towards older women, and she was kind of saying that there was a younger demographic that was also into it as well.
Maybe the 30-year-olds. I don't know.
Well, they have three concepts. They have the flagship Chico's concept, which caters to 45 to well past 60. They have the White House Black Market concept that's it's a little of a hipper brand, and that caters to the 35 to 50-year-old. And then they also have a Soma brand, which is an intimate brand, which is a growth concept, and that's kind of across the board. That caters to a 30-year-old to a 60-year-old audience.
I shopped at White House Black Market in college, so I don't know, maybe that is unusual, but I'm looking through your notes and it seems like there's a lot to like about Chico's and their portfolio. And with that in mind, is it surprising that it took this long for someone like Sycamore to emerge?
Well, as we pointed out in previous notes, Sycamore actually made a bid for Chico's in 2019, first for $350, and then this is when, right before Molly was brought in, they took the bid down, believe it or not, to $3. So no, it's not too surprising that they're back. They've done a great. Chico's has done a great job of kind of reinvigorating the business since 2019, and it just makes a lot of sense for Sycamore given what they already own in the space.
And I like this point in your notes that Chico's is not and was never a struggling mall-based retailer. How did they build that moat? How did they insulate that from maybe some of the struggles in the broader retailing industry?
Well, you have to go back to where Chico started. There's not a fast fashion retailer. They're really catering to a customer that wants an outfit, that wants service, that wants style. So it's not fast fashion. As I pointed out in the note, 40% of the business is digital, 60% is through stores, and they actually have an interesting kind of social selling dynamic where it's almost the equivalent of a Tupperware party. And so, the Chico's consumer is very passionate about the brand.
What do you think is kind of the future here in terms of once this gets into Sycamore's hands? What do you think the evolution might be of this brand?
Well, I think the brand will just continue on the same path that it's been on. As we were talking, before we went on here. The demographic profile is very favorable for the 35 to 60-year-old. There's that cohort is growing. Chico's, White House Black Market, and Soma resonate well. Sycamore already has Ann Taylor, Talbot's, and Lane Bryant in their portfolio. So, there's a good chance that you could see that coming public as a platform of companies in the coming years.